The thought has crossed your mind to sell your UK small business. In this video, I'm going to give you a full breakdown, the first video in a series of videos in how you can sell your UK business. Now, the best thing that you can do to sell your UK small business is to click below and book a call to have a free confidential conversation about your small business sale in the UK. But let's continue in this video. So the first thing that you need to consider is that why are you selling your business? There are many reasons in which someone wants to sell their business, but understanding the true motivations as to what's driving you to this decision is going to be key to the whole conversation and the whole business sale itself. So one exercise that I like people to do is to get a pen and paper and just to write down the reasons why they want to sell their business. Then after writing down all of your thoughts, if that leads you to a logical conclusion to sell your business, then of course that would be the right thing for you. And the next thing that you need to think about, and for some people this applies and for others it doesn't, is whether you have any business partners. Many a time people come to me and it's just one partner of many partners who wants to sell their business, and they have not disclosed this information to any of their business partners. Whenever people come to me in that particular situation, I always direct them back to their business partners, because once you've spoken to your business partner, there could be something that they say that motivates you to continue to stay in business. The other side of the coin is that they could be interested in buying you out. There are many times when people come to me and they say they want to sell their portion of the business, their percentage of the business, they haven't spoken to their business partner. When I direct them back, their business partner is willing to buy them out. And there is no one better to sell the business to than someone who has already got a stake in it, because a lot of times they will actually pay you more than anyone else will pay you outside of your existing shareholders. But once you've spoken to your partners, or if you don't have any partners, the other thing that you need to consider is what is your timeline on selling your business. People, again, because of different reasons, have different timelines. If you are selling your business because you need to immigrate next month for whatever reason it may be, of course, you really want to sell your business within that month. Now, that's not the best situation, because the general rule is the more time you can take to sell your business, the better outcome you'll receive. But different people have different motivations and different reasons, and sometimes a quick sale is the right thing for them. So understanding your timeline will give you a good idea as to how much time investment is required and what kind of outcome you can expect from your business sale. If you're retiring and you have no health concerns, you're perfectly healthy, of course, for that time, you can take 1 or 2 years to sell your business. I'm not saying it will take that long, but you can take that time if you feel that's the right thing for you. So understanding your timeline will give you clarity on how quickly or how slowly you want to move in your business sale. Now, this next thing is really important and is overlooked by 90% of all business owners, and that is, what do you want to do after you've sold your business? Many people think of selling their business, but they don't think about the plan thereafter, because one thing that happens with people who sell their business is that that's been their pride and joy, and that's been their life day in and day out, sometimes for up to 50 years. And then when they sell their business, they feel like they are missing something because they've sold their baby, they've let go of something which was such a central part of their life. If you think about what you're going to do post-sale, you will have complete clarity and a good plan of what you are going to do once you move on from your business. Now, up until now, you've just been gathering your thoughts and you've been talking to existing people, your business partners if you have them. The next stage is to actually take a step to sell your business. And that next thing is that you need to build a deal team. So there are 3 main people who you need on your deal team. The first one is an M&A advisor. And of course, you can click below to book a confidential conversation about your business sale, because I advise people in the UK on how to sell their business. So an M&A advisor is your first person who will advise you on a number of things to do with your business sale. An M&A advisor spends their entire day working on buy-side and sell-side transactions, so they know exactly what it takes to get a good outcome for your business sale. So they can work on negotiation, finding buyers, vetting buyers, helping you through the due diligence process, and everything else that goes into a business sale. So your M&A advisor is going to help you navigate the entire process and even help you select the other 2 professionals that you need. The first one is a corporate lawyer, and it's very important that that corporate lawyer is an M&A qualified lawyer, meaning they're all working in commercial transactions and they're dealing with business sales and business purchases day in and day out. And of course, your corporate lawyer will protect you throughout the deal process. The third person is your accountant. Now, we do advise that you get a M&A qualified accountant who can navigate through your M&A process, especially if your business is doing more than £5 million in revenue and about £500,000 in profit. And the reason for that is because they'll be able to structure your deal to help you in tax, to structure your deal to help you in the deal structure itself, and they will also be able to release information which is beneficial for your business sale. Your normal accountant could help you through your M&A transaction, through your business sale, but especially if you've got a larger size business, sometimes it's worth seeking out a good accountant. One of the key things that your accountant will help you with is planning your tax structure. The biggest cost of you selling your business is not the fees that you're going to pay to your lawyers and your accountants and to the M&A advisor, it's actually what you're going to end up paying to the government. Of course, if you're selling your business in the UK, then when you're selling the shares of your business, you're normally going to pay capital gains tax. So the best way to structure that, you can discuss that with your accountant who will help you ensure that you can manage that whole tax bill that you have. There are many different structures that you can use, either building within your holding company. Of course, if you have a holding company now, then there's more likely that you're going to use that structure. If you don't have a holding company right now, then there are other structures that you can use. Of course, I'm not a tax advisor. Tax laws are changing all the time. So definitely speak to your accountant to get the most up-to-date information about taxation when you are selling your business. So other than preparing for taxation, one of the other things that you can do which will positively impact your business sale is to prepare your business for sale. I can't emphasize this enough. The more time that you spend preparing your business for sale, the higher valuation you can potentially achieve, and the easier and smoother your actual sale will be. Now, of course, your M&A advisor will handle a lot of the sale process, but you're selling your business, so you will be involved to some extent. And that's why preparing ahead of time will ensure that you have all of your documentation in order, that you have all of your conversations in order, you know exactly what you're talking about when you're going into the meetings with any potential buyer or any potential other broker or lawyer on the other side. And it just gives you peace of mind that, yes, I've done some preparation work that is making me help. As they say, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. And we don't want that in your business sale, because it could potentially be one of the biggest and most valuable transactions that you will ever do in your life. There are many things that go into preparing your business for sale, and I already had videos on the channel about preparing your business for sale that go into quite a lot of detail on how you can prepare your business for sale. You can watch those, or you can contact me and then we can prepare your business for sale together. Now, one of the reasons why you want to prepare your business for sale, like I mentioned, is to increase the valuation of your business. So when you contact an M&A advisor, whether that's myself or anyone else, then they will give you an initial valuation for your business. And when you prepare your business for sale, there is a high chance that you're going to increase the valuation of your business. And that's one of the key steps. You need to get your business valued the right way. There are really only a handful of ways that you can value a business, and talking to an M&A advisor, they'll be able to look at your business to see which valuation method will benefit you the most. The most common way of valuing a business is a multiple of EBITDA, and it depends on what industry your business is in, how much profit it's doing, and the management structure of your business as to what multiple has been applied. Working out your EBITDA needs to be normalized EBITDA. Your M&A advisor will work with your accountant and yourself to come up with the normalized EBITDA and the multiple based on your business, your management structure, your profitability, and your position in the marketplace, amongst other things. So now you've got all of this together, which is so far you haven't even actually put your business on the market or try to find any buyers. So the next step is to find buyers. Whether you're doing your business sale yourself, which you shouldn't really do, or you're working with an M&A advisor, they will find buyers for you and they will vet buyers. So there's one thing finding buyers, and the other thing is vetting buyers to ensure that you're talking to the right people. Nowadays, there are a lot of people, not nowadays, it's actually been for a long time, there are a lot of people who say that they want to buy your business, but they ultimately can't complete on a deal. So you need to talk to the right people who can get the deal to completion, because the last thing that you want, you will sign exclusivity with a buyer. The last thing that you want is to find a buyer, talk to them, have negotiations, do that entire lengthy process, and when it comes to the end, to the close, they're unable to close on the business for whatever reason that may be. So you don't want to waste your time. You've got more important things to do, like run your business and to make money and to ensure that you're channeling your energy in the right way. So your M&A advisor will help find and vet buyers for you to ensure you're speaking to the right people who can give you the best outcome for your business sale. Now, after negotiation and talking to buyers, you will come and you will agree a deal. At that point, you end up signing exclusivity, and that exclusivity time is anything from 30 days up to 90 days. It shouldn't really be longer than 90 days. From a sell side, like I've got videos on this channel which I talk about buy side, and of course, when you're talking about buy side, the longer the exclusivity, the better. And we're talking about sell side for yourself, the shorter the exclusivity, it's the better, because you will be able to keep your options open, meaning locked in for a shorter period and keep your options open for a longer period. And again, that comes down to negotiation with the person that you are selling your business to or potentially selling your business to. So after the deal is agreed and heads of terms have been signed, in the UK we call them heads of terms, HOTS. In other places you call them letter of intent. By the way, it doesn't matter what it is. That's just what we call it in the UK. So once you've signed heads of terms, then the buyer will do due diligence on your business. Now, this is quite intensive, and a lot of sellers become a little bit stressed through this process. Unfortunately, it's something that you have to go through. Your M&A advisor will help you, but where you can, direct the buyers to your accountant and direct the buyers to your lawyers. Will be able to manage the due diligence process for you. Now, there is a cost to that, because if you do direct people to your accountant, direct people to your corporate lawyer, they will increase the fees that they end up charging you. Try to get fixed fees to sell your business. If you can do that, you'll save yourself a big bill at the end. Sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't, but try and get fixed fees as much as you can. Remember, when you're selling a business, normally it's quite concrete what you want to do. Especially if you've done your preparation process well, then more lawyers and accountants will be willing to do fixed fee process for you. But if you want to save on any costs, then of course you can direct that to yourself, where you handle the due diligence process while you are doing the sale. Now, your M&A advisor will also help you with that without raising fees. Any good M&A advisor wouldn't raise fees just for helping you with the due diligence process. That should be part and parcel of their fees. Now, once the due diligence has been completed, the next step is closing the sale, closing the deal. It all comes down to this point. You've been working sometimes for a year, 2 years, 3 years, sometimes 6 months to get to this point. You want to actually close the deal. Now, there is something called seller's remorse that a lot of sellers, they pull out in the week that they're selling their business. And that's why thinking about early on why you're selling your business, and ensuring that it's the right thing to do will help you avoid seller's remorse. And you'll actually be excited and looking forward to selling your business. Now, when you're closing the sale, be ready for what's called 11th hour negotiations. They can come in right in the end, in the 11th hour, and say, right, if you want to sell this business, then do this or do that. You need to keep a cool head and you need to work with your M&A advisor to get over that last bit of negotiation, which a buyer might throw your way. This is very common with private equity, and you need to stand your ground if it's the right thing to do to ensure that you get what you have already agreed. So once you close the sale and actually sell your business, that's not the final piece of the puzzle. The next piece of the final piece of the puzzle is actually planning your life post-sale. Now, you've already planned your life post-sale early on, if you've been watching this video, of course, and watching my videos, but now that you're actually retired or you're about to retire, because one thing that you need to be aware of is a lot of times sellers will want to keep you for a post-sale process, and that could be anything from 1 month all the way up to, depending, I've seen people stay for 2 years and sometimes even longer. You know what your motivations are, you know what your post-sale life is going to look like, and you've talked about that with your M&A advisor. Planning your post-sale life will give you the confidence and the clarity that you need to essentially sail into the sunset after you've sold your business. Whether you're staying in the business for a short period of time, whether you're staying in the business for a long period of time, you know exactly what you're doing, and you can enjoy the fruits of your long labor. So after all of this, you may be thinking, how long does it actually take to sell my small business in the UK? This video popping up on the screen right now is going to cover exactly that, on how long it takes to sell a business in the UK. So click there and I'll see you in the next video.